Hello, hello. Welcome to Deep Ish. This is episode number two. Geek Mob. Today we're at the wonderful B&D Comic Shop. If you haven't been here, please come. I've been coming here since they were on Williamson.
Same here.
And I was a child.
A million years ago.
Me too.
Still kind of a child.
Back when Terry was 3 years old, running the shop.
Yeah.
But we're bringing you a special Black Friday edition of B&D Comic Books to talk about somebody who is definitely a friend of the family to all of us, Mr. Stan Lee. And what better place to do that interview than right here with Terry. This is also one of my heroes as well.
And you're one of mine.
Oh, thank you so much.
You're the only rapper.
And I don't know these people. I'm just here.
So, who wants to start us off? Who wants to talk about Stan and what his legacy has meant to you? Apparently, Bill Maher doesn't understand, so if you're listening, which you're probably not, but this is also for you as well.
No, Bill Maher's a doofus.
He's just misunderstood. He doesn't understand. Very smart guy, but does not understand what this man has done for modern mythology. And so,
I would hesitate to think what Marvel Comics would look like if we did not have Stan Lee. I can't think of any other single person other than maybe Jack Kirby
Yeah.
oh yeah,
contributed as much to comic fandom, to the comic industry as Stan Lee. I can't think of anybody who they're great artists, great writers, sure, everywhere. Mm-hmm. But as far as his lifetime body of work, that's what Stan, I think, had over everybody else. He may not have created everything, but he had his finger in every pie.
pie.
And it was him that had to name his characters like Peter Parker. He had to use double letters so that he would remember all the names. And he did work briefly at DC Comics before he came over to Marvel.
That's true.
And he probably couldn't do what he wanted to at DC, so Marvel kind of let him do his own thing. And it's a good thing, because we wouldn't have half the characters we have now. Or if we did have them, they'd be lame.
Yeah, definitely. The guy who started at the bottom, Drake reference. Started at the bottom, but he basically, like I said before, embodies the spirit of modern mythology, and he humanized these characters, and they're very relatable. He actually put these characters in a real place, New York City.
Yeah.
The storylines were fantastic. I related mostly to Spider-Man. I really started reading when I was a kid. Started on the Secret Wars, and from there just branched off into these different characters that were very human and dealt with real conflict. Not just I can fly. Superman, okay, yeah, he can fly. That's cool and everything, but it was more of the dynamic of what these people were going through, and he humanized them. And he also touched on a lot of social issues that were going on, and you didn't see a lot of people stepping up into these realms, especially dealing with civil rights.
Yeah.
He's just a fantastic person, and he had clear vision for everything he was doing. He was a great spokesman. He was a great leader, and he was great at just painting vivid pictures. And, they said that he would sit in offices and he'd be so animated, jumping up on desk, telling you exactly, what he wanted to see from these artists that actually went in and could just draw from his imagination. And that's fantastic to me.
Well, I'm glad you said something about, civil rights, because that's one of the things I wanted to read, but I just learned this recently, and I can't believe I've gone all these years and didn't know it. When Stan Lee worked on X-Men, Professor X and Magneto are Martin Luther King and Malcolm X.
Yeah, they definitely drew those parallels for
Oh,
those characters.
wow.
And I never realized that, and it was the two people working for an oppressed group, working for the same goals, but working in a different way.
Yes.
And I want to read something that Stan wrote in the 60s. And it's so relevant even today. This is from Stan's soapbox. It was printed in one of the comics. Let's lay it right on the line. Bigotry and racism are among the deadliest social ills plaguing the world today. But unlike a team of costume supervillains, they can't be halted with a punch in the snoot or a zap from a ray gun. The only way to destroy them is to expose them, to reveal them for the insidious evils they really are. The bigot is an unreasoning hater, one who hates blindly, fantastically, indiscriminately. If his hang-up is black men, he hates all black men. If a redhead once offended him, he hates all redheads. If some foreigner beat him to a job, he's down on all foreigners. He hates people he's never seen and people he's never known. With equal intensity, with equal venom. Now, we're not trying to say it's unreasonable for one human being to bug another, but although anyone has the right to dislike another individual, it's totally irrational, patently insane to condemn an entire race, to despise an entire nation, to vilify an entire religion. Sooner or later, we must learn to judge each other on our own merits. Sooner or later, if man is ever to be worthy of his destiny, we must fill our hearts with tolerance. For then and only then will we be truly worthy of the concept that man was created in the image of God, a God who calls all his children. Stan Lee.
Wow.
And that was just, you can read that at any point in time, and it's still just as impactful as it was the day he published it.
Yeah, you see a lot with artists that like him. He was just simply a humanitarian, and you see it in his work, in the charitable works that he's also done, and also given time to go wherever to talk to whoever about fandom, not just fandom, but just touching people's hearts. And to me, that's amazing.
I like that he's like, he put a face to the creators. He's like the face of Marvel.
Yes.
And you didn't really see a lot of that. One thing I really love, and I'll never forget, back in the early 80s, Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends, he was the narrator of the show, and you got to hear him, and that was almost like hearing the voice of the comic god.
Yes.
But he's just got such a cool voice, and just hearing him, introducing and calling saying true believers, and Excelsior. I mean, it was enough said. It was just, it was like you got to, like, he was your friend. I mean, he was like, here, let me tell you, he was like telling you a story. And it was just a way you connect. He found a way to connect with you as a kid that you didn't really, that didn't happen in any other way, in any other writer or anybody in any other comic company did with you.
Yeah, he championed his artists and the writers as well. Always giving them such dazzling names so you can catch them, like kind of like a catchphrase, but you knew exactly who they were because they were a part of his team, and it was almost kind of like an exclusive club that you wanted to belong to.
Yeah.
He brought you closer. Whatever he could do to draw you in and bring you closer. And for me, growing up as a kid, he basically filled my life with a lot of positivity. And his stories are timeless.
I mean, I see him as like the Walt Disney of comic books.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's a real good analogy.
Oh, yeah. So, does anybody else?
We're going to miss him. The saddest thing that I read on Facebook that said the next Marvel movie that you go see, you're going to watch the whole movie, you're going to sit through the credits, you're going to watch the extras, and you're going to still say, I'm missing something. And you'll realize you didn't see Stan Lee, and we never will again.
What is your favorite Stan Lee moment from the cameos? Is there any cameo that sticks out to you?
There's so many good ones because they all affect you in different ways. Even like the one in The Amazing Spider-Man where he's just cleaning up in the chemistry room, and there's walls being smashed in the background. He doesn't even say anything, and it's just so much fun.
And he's got the headphones on.
In the newer Spider-Man, where he's like yelling at him for beating up the guy that's just trying to get into his own car, or back in the original the Incredible Hulk movie, where he and Lou Ferrigno, or was it Fantastic? Which is the one where he and Lou Ferrigno played security guards Was that Fantastic Four?
No, I believe.
Or was that Incredible Hulk?
It was one of the Incredible Hulk
Okay.
adaptations. Not the boring one, but
But I mean,
think
he's
it was
been doing
one.
cameos since the Hulk TV movies.
Yes.
I mean, he was one. He was like a big kid. He was always been like a big kid who never forgot where he came from.
Exactly.
I mean, I've read interviews where he said, "I would do DC movie cameos if they let me."
And they should have.
Yeah, really, really.
Yeah.
But he just seemed like a really likable, good guy.
Yeah. I think that's what did it for me. It was just, for me, Marvel in general had a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Not saying that DC sucks, because like I enjoy DC.
Yeah.
On paper. Your movies, I don't know. But Marvel has a heartbeat, and the characters all like are part of your family.
I agree.
Agree. Well, if you want to read more Marvel comics or any comics at all, come here to B&D Comic Shop.
We'll hook you up.
Well, they'll hook you up. And if you're new to comics and you don't know, what you think you might like, talk to this lady because she'll steer you in the right direction. Where are we right now? Where is this place?
We're at 802 Elm Avenue in the log cabin right at the top of Wasena Bridge, and we've been here for 20 some odd years and 10 on Williamson before that. So let's see, we're coming up on our 38th anniversary.
Wow.
So yeah, that's of course,
Speaking
that's
of
in
big
July.
kids,
Yes, I'm a very old kid.
ditto.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching Deep-ish with Bryan, Jason, and Terry.
If you have any questions or any comments, please leave them below. We'll answer them. We'll talk to
Yeah.
you. Please share your Marvel moments with us
Yes.
as well. Thank you.
And thanks, Brenda, for recording all this.
Yes, thank Brenda.
Brenda, love you.